What is up, Hallowmaniacs? It is the 31 days of Halloween. We are so excited to bring this to you guys. 31 videos, 31 days. What better than to kick off spooky season with the Michigan Museum of Horror. Ooh, spooky.
We wanted to have a spooky adventure. We don't know what to expect. We've never been to this.
Yeah. Haven't really heard much about this place. We kind of found it and said, hey, this might be kind of cool to investigate, see what it's all about, and what spookiness we can find, right?
I like to say, let's get scary.
Let's do this, guys. Tag along with us and let's see what we can find. Okay, so the Michigan Museum of Horror is off of Monroe Street, kind of close to the River Raisin in Monroe, Michigan. We have never been here before, so we really weren't sure what to expect, right?
No, we walked into this blindly. I mean, obviously we knew, we're thinking, oh, it's going to be a lot of horror movies, but we did put the warning up there, so just to kind of lay out that there are a lot of real life kind of scary things, graphic images, and that's kind of why we put that.
Yeah, Hollywood's one thing. You enjoy the horror films, the genre itself, but like real life horror is a different thing, right? It's a whole different ball game. Very sensitive stuff, very graphic stuff as well. By no means do I believe in glorifying some of these killers, these murderers, but it's history. It's something that's a little bit different. But we're going to put out there that there is some graphic material, but there's also some really cool stuff from the horror genre, horror movies, memorabilia, things that tie back to your favorite horror films.
Yeah, so this place is definitely worth a visit. The downstairs, I would say, has a lot of, human artifacts. You're going to see some bones, definitely some different artifacts that are kind of pertaining to real life serial killers. But upstairs had a lot of different kind of scary movie artifacts, like Joe was saying.
Yeah, and for $10 each per person for admission, very affordable. Something that you could spend a couple of hours checking out. So if this is kind of your thing, whether it be horror movies or real life horror, this is definitely something to check out if you're in this area of Michigan.
And if you are into Ouija boards and kind of those spirit boards, this actually has the largest collection in Michigan.
I wonder if that's like a Guinness World Record, because I've never seen so many Ouija boards in one place before. So that was quite different.
Yes, and you can see just kind of when you first walk in, like I said, there'll be some graphic materials, but we're not going to show all the graphic and the most graphic things that we saw, but, a lot of different human bones, and here's a real human skull that had actually pieces of hair still attached to it, so...
Yeah.
Definitely
some human anatomy and some different types of artifacts, some different type of stuff. Here you'll see the skeleton, actual skeletal structure, so definitely a history on that, and... some of these things, they are a little bit, gruesome. Can be a little bit disturbing, but it's history too, right? So it is history as well. And just kind of makes you wonder. In this specific example, looks like this skeleton was recovered from a secret society. So that's kind of different. And you wonder what this skeleton or what this person kind of went through,
Before and after life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So with everything, there's always a story. So always some interesting stuff out there.
I think, too, for me, I work in radiology and healthcare, and seeing, a lot of the bones, that was actually fascinating to me because I see it in imaging all the time.
Yeah, right up your alley.
Yeah. This
the monkey with the symbols, that reminds me of, like, so many different horror films where you see that,
Here, we wanted to show briefly a little bit, we don't want to glorify any of the serial killers, but it is history. There were some really kind of different and unique artifacts that they did have. Richard Ramirez. You're going to see things from Jeffrey Dahmer.
John Wayne Gacy.
Yes, even Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, and I believe even Charles Manson's ashes, I believe.
Yes, so that was actually very unique. But here was a handwritten, and it's one thing that always fascinated me is even people that do these horrific crimes, they will get people that become fans or fascinated with them. And Jeffrey Dahmer, this is him actually drawing his own hand and actually giving it to somebody who wrote him a letter in prison.
That's crazy.
It's just fascinating that you will see those type of fans that kind of come out for something that's totally inappropriate and terrible things that have been done. But It happens.
It does. And, it just makes you wonder, like, how you track some of the stuff down, because I would think that some of the stuff would be very difficult to come by, but I guess some of it's still out there, right?
And this, well, yeah, and like, look at this right here. So this was a musician, Dimebag Darrell. He was playing, and he actually ended up dying during a concert. I think I want to say he got shot. I was not too familiar with him, and I actually learned a lot of stuff going into this, but the stage that they were playing on is actually right here.
That's crazy.
So again, you just think of, like Joe said, how do you track down these types of artifacts and these mementos and, pieces of histories and these, times in history or events, and people have them and they are out there. So
no, it is crazy. Very unique stuff indeed, though. Charles Manson right here.
He definitely did, as we know, the horrific crime where I believe it was Sharon Tate. He and a group of others murdered her while she was pregnant, and they actually have her or his ashes right here.
That's another crazy thing. Like, how the heck did they come across that, or find that, or verify that? But there's a story behind every artifact, I guess.
And going back to Charles Manson, it's kind of like the fans in prison. I believe Charles Manson was actually married while he was in prison.
Yeah,
so I think the wife, maybe at the time, I want to say, maybe had the rights to, some of the ashes, and maybe she sold them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that worked out, but again, here's John Wayne Gacy. They actually had one of his artworks here, as well as a paintbrush that they believe that he used. So
I'll tell you, man, like, John Wayne Gacy is one of the reasons I do not like clowns. There's just something super creepy about.
Oh, it's sick. Yeah.
Sick and just super creepy about that facade, dressing as a clown and the unspeakable terror, that he unleashed on his victims. That's just terrible.
It was an act. Yeah, it was terrible. And, it's interesting to see, a lot of people like that. Like you see, he had a talent for art. Yeah. You'll see sometimes a lot of killers or, people are incarcerated. They'll go in and they have a lot of artistic ability.
Right.
This was very unique. It was a actual signature of Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, that's super old too, right?
Because that's from the 1800s.
That's crazy. And I think there's a song about her, with like so many whacks or something. And then I think there's some controversy as to how many whacks there actually was, when she killed her victims. So we learned a little bit about that too, just the differences in that. Yeah, just crazy though.
This just, if you do go here, and I'm not going to show this. So inside that room there, they do have like real crime scene photos. Joe went in there. I did not, but... I said it was pretty graphic in nature.
Yeah,
but,
definitely something we're not going to take you guys along for the ride for. If that's something that interests you, then totally check it out on your own. But
because a lot of people do like true crime, and that's fascinating. And this would be a great place to see. So if you are into that, you'll definitely want to play.
Now, this is more my thing right here with all the Michael Myers masks throughout all of the movies, because Halloween is by far one of my favorite Halloween franchises. All the way up from Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers. Tony Moran, obviously, he did the first visual of Michael Myers without a mask on, but he didn't play the whole character in the original, movie, just a portion of it. All the way up through, some of the more modern Michael Myers versions that are out there. But I thought all the masks were pretty cool throughout the series.
I felt like I was looking at the stages of Michael Myers right there. But
the evolution of Michael.
Yes, and there was some great artifacts, but we're kind of, as we were inching our way kind of towards the back of the first floor, we saw the Michael Myers mask. It was cool to see. You could see those face casts of, they have Vincent Price and, just going through some artifacts, creepy dolls here. I mean, I think there's supposed to be a lot of real life haunted objects in the museum. So,
which they do warn you, don't touch anything. I believe the gentleman that checked us in and we bought our tickets says, don't touch anything. We don't want anything getting attached to you and coming home with you. And I believe some of that.
I didn't even hear that.
Oh yeah, he definitely said it. He definitely said it. So he said you could take all the photos and videos you want, but don't touch anything. And trust me, I was not in a position where I was going to touch anything.
So yeah, that was no problem.
We don't need any problems back home here. So we completely eliminated that from the equation.
This is great. They had a lot of even artifacts from movies. Jason.
Ari Lehman, I think, was the original, one of the originals from the Friday the 13th series.
Yeah. And then they had Ghostface. So this is like the part that I really, really liked, because I love seeing a lot of the horror movie villains and just the posters and...
Yeah. Doesn't a part of you, when you see these like mannequins with costumes, wonder like, okay, is there somebody under there, or is there like a surprise that's going to happen? I know I did. I thought that to myself too. But
you always worry, yeah.
Yes, but here's the upstairs. Really cool array of, horror memorabilia, stuff from all of your favorite horror films over the years, some of your favorite slasher films, some really, really cool stuff here.
And I was digging the lighting.
Yeah,
I like that
yeah.
purple overcast.
Yes, for sure. I think that was from Alien right there, wasn't it? Or something, I think.
Yeah, so they had actually, you'll see the prop here, and they had costumes, but this was actually...
Alien Resurrection,
Yeah.
1997.
So not the original. That one was, I think, in
yeah.
78.
Yeah.
I want to say late 70s, but a different one. They actually had the costumes, so that was really cool to see. I love seeing the movie artifacts and the props. And
Oh, yeah. This is one of my favorites, Trick or Treat. I love this movie. I know it's odd and it's very strange, but it's a unique story that has different characters that are kind of all intertwined. Some random twists on it, but Trick or Treat Sam is one of my favorite villains, and I thought this was some really cool stuff from the movie Trick or Treat.
I have a hard time with that movie because I honestly want to say, like, he's so cute. You
want to take him home, right?
I do. He's
take him trick or treating.
I like Halloween. I think we would get along.
He would probably like that, and he, he's got the whole spirit of Halloween, so he's looking for people that truly appreciate and love Halloween in that movie.
Absolutely. This was actually a set of pajamas from the remake of Poltergeist.
That's pretty cool.
So you can actually see the screen capture of it and then see it in real life right there. And I thought that was a cool.
Yeah.
That movie terrified me, the original one.
Absolutely.
I have not seen the remake, but yeah, that was a unique spin on a...
Yes, indeed.
These are great. They had X-Files. It looked like, I think, the actual episode scripts.
That's pretty cool.
So those are neat. Have you watched X-Files, Joe?
I've watched a few, yeah. It was pretty neat.
I haven't watched too many of them, but...
Not many, but a little bit I've seen.
But I know that theme song.
Yes,
that's
the
iconic.
theme song, and it's been around for a long time, so...
We had some more costume artifacts here. Yeah, it was just great because I feel like there's so much to go after, and you're going to even see some local artifacts up here as well. But look at all these posters here. And it's great, too, because it tells you maybe you haven't seen movies, and it gives you ideas of,
Yes.
hey, what can be a good Friday movie night?
And look at this guy, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
He is cool. That is definitely a cult classic movie.
Yes. Sometimes it gets a decent amount of attention, but I don't feel it gets the notoriety for how iconic and pop culture-ish and popular it is with people that really enjoy that film.
Absolutely.
Gremlins. I loved Gremlins as a kid, right?
Bunch of troublemakers.
Yes, especially Stripe.
He was. Gizmo was a cutie, but Stripe was the little, like I said, the little troublemaker.
The problem child.
Yeah. But look at this right here, the little fur ball.
Some really cool props, some really cool stuff from Halloween films, throughout the ages and throughout the years, which I thought was super cool. This is kind of my wheelhouse, stuff that I really like to see and really enjoy quite a bit. So,
and I know this is our first time visiting here, but it seems to me that they are constantly bringing in new items, changing things around. It seems
Yes.
like if you were to go back, it would be worth it because you would see new things.
Yes, and I know for a fact there is a Michigan or a museum of horror in Ohio as well as in Michigan. So I believe the owner has started expanding to multiple locations. I believe there's one in Ohio as well. If you're in Ohio, you can check it out.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's
Yep.
really cool.
Here's all the Ouija boards. I mean, this is crazy. The crazy thing about this is they have Ouija boards like all the way to the 1800s. So like literally probably the first Ouija boards that were ever created. So really crazy. Not going near those things or touching them, but just crazy to see so many Ouija boards in one place.
Yes, and they know, and a lot of people, you think of something like, okay, an Ouija board it's not bad. It's nothing hard. It's a fun, I think you do it at sleepovers and things like that, but it really can be a dangerous tool.
Oh, of course.
It's not something to look and treat lightly.
No,
So,
definitely not. You're opening up a whole different portal or realm there, so you got to be careful.
yes, and opening yourself up. So
Yeah, absolutely. Vulnerabilities.
this is a kind of, if you've seen the movie Lost Boys, there's a lot of artifacts here that you can see. I like that. It was a brand new VHS, never been used, sealed in there as well. I think they had an original movie ticket when it came out. And
Super cool. That looks like a signed script by all the actors and actresses. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was like Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
Yes, he was in that movie. But yeah, I have not seen the full movie. I think I saw bits and pieces, but
I love that signed script because for those that don't know, autographs are my thing. I love to collect autographs besides just Halloween memorabilia, stuff like that. I love collecting signed things from actors and actresses that starred in some of these horror films, as well as a lot of sports figures as well. So definitely my thing. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, you got to see a lot of cool things here.
Absolutely. All kinds of fun stuff.
Here, The Walking Dead. So they had some artifacts, movie props or TV props.
And Saw.
There.
Oh man, Saw. That was a gruesome series. I still remember that first film. Puppet Master. That is a classic too, as well.
Yeah, this is an actual replica of the original one.
Yep.
So, and what little creepsters those guys were.
Oh, they were for sure, man. It's just super creepy and doesn't make you look at puppets or dolls the same way when you start to watch these kind of films.
No, it's like the lack of eyes right there is just so creepy.
Speaking of eyes, when you're sleeping in bed, I keep opening my eyes to make sure that one of these Puppet Master dolls isn't at your feet, clawing at your flesh or something crazy like that.
No kidding, right?
Gotta be careful.
Here, we had a couple different like shoes, artifacts. I like seeing that there was not only just side memorabilia, but there was movie props, clothing.
Yes.
Look at this, Art the Clown.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've actually have not seen any of the Art the Clown Terrifier films. I've heard that they can be absolutely gruesome, and not to play off the name, but terrifying and almost nauseating with some of the gore. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen any of them yet.
And that's honestly why I haven't chosen seen it. I like a good scary movie, but I'm not one for the gory because I think it's much more scarier to not have the goriness to it. But
Sure.
This was actually interesting. So this was a banned pink Ouija board from Toys R Us, which why would you really market that
That's
in that
crazy,
way?
isn't it?
Found that to be strange. Like, here, little girl,
Yeah.
get your first Ouija board.
That
it
is
comes
crazy.
in Barbie colored.
I never would have guessed or never knew that they carried any Ouija boards at all. So that is pretty crazy. And to actually have one on display is a little bit crazier too. So
Yeah, it was funny to see that, like kind of how it was marketed.
I will have to give some props to the owner here because I'm sure finding some of this stuff is like a needle in a haystack, and there's a lot of time, effort, research, investment involved, and he's got a very impressive collection of artifacts and horror memorabilia and stuff like that. So pretty interesting and pretty neat.
Yeah, and I thought it was a very reasonable price to come in for an afternoon, spend some time for $10 to really just see all these different artifacts. It was a good time. It was really nice. We'll have to check it out again as well.
Yeah, and we haven't even showed you guys everything that's there, top or bottom. So definitely encourage you guys to check it out for yourselves. Pay them a visit. And if you do, drop us a note in the comments and let us know what you thought. What was your favorite thing to see at the Michigan Museum of Horror?
This was a local artifact. So I said we were going to show a little bit of local things. And this was actually an old lady's chair where she died in it. And they say if you sit in it, that you can sometimes get like that eerie feeling that,
Dizziness, chills. Oh, man.
I did not sit in it.
No, me neither.
I'm not gutsy when it comes to that stuff. Like going in a haunted house. Yeah, I'll go in. That's fine.
Of course.
But again, sometimes the real life things freak me out. And,
Yes.
And I did. And I will say, some of the stuff in here made me feel uneasy.
Oh, man, look at that guy now. That doesn't
That's
get
what I was
scarier than that.
saying.
That will make you feel uneasy. And I'm not talking about Freddy Krueger. I'm talking about the guy next to him.
Yeah, you. But no, it's one of those things. And there was a lot of cool things to see here. That's creepy.
That is creepy.
Reminds me of Rosemary's Baby.
Yes,
Something
the
like
baby carriage. Oh my gosh.
Remember the movie Witches when she pushes the little baby down the hill and it's in one of those
man.
old-fashioned carriages like that.
I know. And look at this, an antique vampire hunting kit. I wonder if Peter Vincent had this from Fright Night. Or at least probably some of these artifacts look very, very familiar from that film.
Yeah, this was so cool. I mean, things that you don't think of, and you're going to, of course, have the holy water, the crucifix.
Watch out, Jerry Dandridge. We're coming out to get you.
Well, what did he say in that movie? You have to have faith.
You have to have faith for that to work on me.
That's a great movie. So
Most iconic scene of that film, man. You got to love it.
You were actually the one that introduced me to that movie.
Yeah.
I had never heard about it.
It's a great film.
It is. Classic 80s.
Ouija boards, the 1920s, 1930s. Like I stated, they had some here that dated back into the 1800s, so that was super crazy.
And it's worth mentioning that when you first come in and when you leave, there's actually artifacts. And I believe one of the spirit boards, you could actually buy one, an antique one. So they had, different human bones. I think, piece of human flesh that there was like all kinds of artifacts that you could actually take home with you. So if you are into those oddities and want that, that's something.
There you have it.
They had their own gift shop. So.
some Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, so many great things. Just wanted to say, this is a great place. What did
Yeah,
you
it was
think?
a really cool experience. It was something different. I think it was a great way to kind of kick off our 31 days to Halloween and get in that spooky atmosphere. And to highly recommend you guys check them out. If you're looking for something to do on a Saturday afternoon, pop in, spend a couple of hours. If the gruesome stuff is not really your forte, then head upstairs, check out all the cool movie memorabilia. And there's just a little bit of everything for everybody to kind of explore here.
And then you can also, like we're showing some of the gifts right here, you could take some home with you. So
Take some spookiness home with you. That's right.
that's right. So thanks again for tuning in and watching this 31 Days of Halloween.
Guys, stay tuned. We've got plenty more coming for you. So remember, always stay spooky.
Trick or treat.